Want to welcome you to Bitcoin Spike. This is London. Hope you're all doing well. We're going to go through the price action. Great day in terms of what we saw in BTC. Let's go over, guys. 46,864. I want to welcome you. I am a former financial professional. This is not financial advice. I appreciate you guys and everything going on in the VIP, exciting our top level of membership. In terms of this patterning, we're up and through this specific area here. Very nicely done. Looking at the daily, I let a video out this morning essentially that we were challenging this specific moving average, this 200-day moving average. We were up and above it. I was excited. I think YouTube decided to maybe limit some of the audience that received my specific uptrend notification. Now that's kind of unfortunate. I have to say that, YouTube. That's unfortunate in terms of me just flat out saying uptrend indicated, bam, before we got the launch today. That's a little bit sad, I have to say. In terms of 40 people getting a notification, that's sad, guys. In terms of YouTube, that's just pitiful. Call it like you see it, YouTube, but that's me telling you, before it decides to crank to the upside. And if you want to pick favorites in life, I don't, nor do I in trading or technical analysis. I hope whoever is handling your profiles and handling your profiles and your portfolios and your own lives, that it's with someone who's not getting that unfair degree of treatment. I'll just say that to the YouTube team. Hopefully your own brokers and your own profiles are not getting that, anyone else is getting that level of treatment. With 40 views, what I'm calling out and indicated move to the upside. This was a big deal in terms of that big pump we got to the upside today. Big deal. We'll talk about kind of that breakthrough, that threshold, that launch. And yeah, it was right at that time where I just let you guys know. It's like we're right up and above. You can go back through and let me go to the chats. You guys need to let me know what's cooking. You guys are trading, I would assume. I know that all the VIP got their specific, I know they got their video. I would assume I posted it in the back as always. At least let them know we got a video going on, etc. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. All to say, I've lined this out in line with this specific, prior resistance. The thing was, when I let the video out here, without getting into too much detail, but the prior really support to support, we were up and through that level of support and over that 200, so it looked like we were going to be able to traject to the upside. That was a big move yesterday, as we looked at yesterday, about 5% to the upside, just under right now 47,000. We look at 46,870. We can go through the details. Essentially, yesterday we talked about, and you guys know we've been marching the bull around. I might as well just march the bull instead of me complaining about YouTube. I could probably do that with everybody who has a station or otherwise, I would imagine. Don't you think? Anyone who has a station, they can complain with YouTube? Probably so. Their complaint box is full, so I can add one more complaint. But let's go ahead and have some fun real quickly and remind everybody who we are. Let's see what we have. If I can get this going. Indeed, you have seen it here. You have seen it while we were deep in the price action. You guys know this whole zone in here. I have been throwing around the Bitcoin bull, releasing him from time to time. When I find myself getting bearish at all, he is the fix. Okay, so that is in terms of the market sentiment, etc. I have been replaying him. You guys know, if you're new to the channel or you're an old timer, it's like if I find myself at any point in time getting a little bit bearish, I'm like, well, it's not going to do this. I'm like, it's time to play the bull. You guys know this. It's my fallback. It's been my fallback during the entirety of this this portion here, as you guys have been watching. So I don't know. It's just the market can get to you a little bit. Sometimes I'm just I find myself, whenever I find myself in a mood, I'm just absolutely drawn back by the threshold resistance, this, that. I'm like, it's time to play the bull. It's like, that's why I have them. So sometimes I just do that. Hope you guys enjoy that bull, and shout it in the chats if you guys can. We'll go through some upside targets. Some different levels are being tested right now. In fact, exactly right now. Very interesting. I tried to send a little bit of a text through Twitter today earlier, and I couldn't send that either. So it's like my YouTubes aren't getting out to people. I couldn't send a tweet or a message to people in Twitter. It's like, I think my phone was even having problems making like basic phone calls, odd stuff today. As I look at that, it's really odd when Bitcoin decides to do really well, and all of a sudden I can't get something to the VIP in the back, or I can't do a basic thing like receive a text message. Like, what is this? And like I put a video out, and it's limited to like 30 or 40 people will see it. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Very odd for a group that's highly technical. Maybe it's that restricted, that exclusive access. Maybe someone wants me to only make phone calls if it's really, VIP. I'm not sure. Very odd day. I'm going to talk about this specific thing, and I have a screenshot of it. I tried to get it to the VIP. In terms of this, if I invert this, very interesting. I want to talk about this specific indicated parallel function here, and it's interesting because it is where we hitched the day. If you guys just see that, it's exactly where we hitched the day. I thought it was an indicated, very interesting level to share with VIP. If you guys know, not financial advice, if you guys are tuning in, welcome. And we talk about a parallel channel function here. It's just real interesting as we would discuss this. Now, we don't have to do this inverted. I've done it inverted just to give you the idea. If you had been trading a bull flag, right? If you had been trading a bull flag, you would hope for this pickup. I'm telling you guys, you would hope for this specific pickup after defining this top level threshold here. I want to walk you through this. And I do have, for VIP in the back, I have a screenshot where I tried to send this to you earlier. It's just interesting. And it has caught right at this level. The reason that this is interesting is as you integrate your kind of and I'm not indicating a pullback threshold and run to which would be the downside. I'm not stating that. What I am is bringing forth this bottom line parallel function to the top level here and indicating a parallel channel. And I tried to do that earlier to VIP. I just think it's very interesting that that specific level did stop. That was the stopping point for the day. So, hey, Pathfinder in the house, my man. What's up, Pathfinder? What I got you? VIP in the house. Got a few screens going on here, but Pathfinder is killing it in the back. Nice to have Pathfinder in VIP. Wouldn't be the same without you, brother. Very excited to have you here. Boom, and that's me chatting with you in the chat room. Excited for Freddie. Freddie booked some great trades based on Ape. Way to go, Freddie. That is so awesome, brother. I'm so excited for you. As we let me do this real quickly. I think I still have this in the back, you guys. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. The preceding. Yeah, I do. Man, this thing right here, I'm going to try and send it to you again. Maybe I'm on a better network. You guys take a look at that in the back on Twitter. Just look at this on the back on Twitter. It's just interesting because it stopped there on the daily. I tried to send this to you guys earlier today in VIP, and look at this. It was not sent. It's the exact carry down function, and boom, it was the target. I thought that's a good stopping point in terms of the integrated framework if I were to invert the chart, right? And it's not necessarily a stopping point, but as I looked at it, I was like, if I invert this, if we were trying to formulate a bull flag here with a parallel pull down function, we would be hammering into this level right here, trying to save that bull flag. So I thought it was very relevant. As we look at the price right here, and it's not necessarily a stopping point. Just wanted to document the fact that I couldn't even send something to VIP. I'm like, what is up? Maybe there's a solar storm or something weird like that. What do you guys think? Probably not. But as we would look at it, we'll deal with it anyway. Nothing more fun than just saying we'll deal with it anyway and keep on trudging. As we look at the big indicator, and if you guys saw the video early, make sure you have your notifications set, guys. Make sure those notifications are set. I cut a video this morning, and I think we're just on limitation with the number of I'd say people watching and people streaming, etc. And that's no problem with me in terms of overall function. We would like to expand the group to the extent that people do hop in and they kind of abuse the privilege with the chats, etc. I try and keep it exclusive, but that's part of what YouTube encourages us to do. So I'm a little bit at a loss in terms of what they would expect us to actually do instead of what I'm actually doing, because we try and maintain it in line with those perks, etc., with the VIP. So I don't know. I'm sure that there's a rhyme for every reason that they have. There's some sort of backdrop that they've got that they have decided. Be interesting. I think that Elon's looking at opening up his own social website, his own social framework. That's very interesting in terms of a kind of a Twitter-like program. That'd be very interesting to see that come to fruition. And under freedom of speech, that's very cool. I thought that was a big deal here in the United States of America, freedom of speech. I thought that was like an awesome deal that like the country was founded on, and that like Martin Luther King marched for, and like civil rights, all that type of stuff. Maybe not. Maybe I learned the wrong history in the wrong country. Possibly. I don't know. Things have changed a lot last year plus or so. It's gotten a little difficult. I don't know what's up. So anyway, what is up is Bitcoin. That's what's up. I've drawn this parallel function just to show where we have hitched. We'll go into the lower time frames. The key focal, if you're just tuning in now, guys, is this specific moving average. I let you know earlier, aside from all of the patterns, say, well, we have a new pattern. Well, we have a new pattern. Well, we've been breaking out and at resistances of different patterns the entirety of the time. So it's just been like a 1-2 continual punch as we continue to go up, but we beat them. That's the good thing. That rising wedge, we beat it. The indication this morning was we were up and over that 200. I've been talking about that for a while on the daily, right? On that daily chart, bam, getting up and above that 200 is the most crucial thing that we have done in a long time. It feels good, guys. We're up and above that 200, which has previously been used as a nice level of support, I'll say, or resistance, right? Support to resistance, a little bit of a tug of war here, whether or not resistance or support, right? Once it catches support along with that 100, and that'll be the trick here, is getting that 100, which will move more quickly. Okay, it will move more quickly, but we need that 100 to come back up and above. We need to start riding that 100 wave to the top. Very nice to be in this position. Glad that we've been talking about the 200. So you all, and this is on Trend is Your Friend. I've eliminated all the other aspects of the that specific indicator, so you will just be able to focus on that 200 in purple and that 100 on the daily. It's just huge, guys. Really exciting. If you look at the framework of those two moving averages beforehand, we've just been riding those moving averages like we wanted really to do something. As we would look at this specific level of resistance that 200 is provided on the 4-hourly, you'll see we attempted to confirm this as a level of support, failed. Attempted to hold above, failed, attempted above, failed, and we started to hop along here, and we are up and out. This is the type of move today that I was telling you guys. I was just looking forward to having a bigger move. I wanted something that would indicate that we're kind of up and out of this zone, right? Something that would tell the traders, yeah, we're up and out. We talked about that last night. Bam, nice moves. Bam, bam, just huge, nice velocity, at least to the moves. We saw that today, even with these smaller moves, just nice velocity along the way up in 2020 to 21, right? That rebound from that 50% retracement. Again, nice velocity. So this sustained move in an uptrend is positive, and I did go ahead and say that the signal flash for the uptrend today being over that specific 200 moving average. So not much of a move in the market if you look at the move in the market, 5% or so. But as you look at it, if you guys were on a 5L, etc., very nicely done. I have to say, extremely nicely done. Now, I have this situated. We can continue with the same or similar patterns that we have been focused on. I have no problem with that. In terms of the 4-hourly, we have this triangulation, which is the most familiar to everybody. It's just like I'd say that what's difficult right now is on your, if you're trading at all on your specific handheld device, you guys know this, you're depending on your time frame. This is something to note, guys. Pay attention to this. As you're trading on your cell phone, as you are on your mobile device, it is increasingly difficult to maintain some of these patterns on your own time frame instead of going to a larger time frame. It's almost like it's mixed up a little bit. It's a little bit frustrated right now in terms of maintaining these specific patterns at the lower level. Like on the lower time frame, you might need to be like on the especially when it does something like if you go to the 30 minutes on your handheld and it rearranges the lines of trading view, something along those lines where you don't even have the accurate level of the resistance and the support. Things like that have been noted. Okay, so it's just it is what it is. It's kind of like us with Gate and the exchange going away right as they are being integrated into TradingView. So we will have a story to tell. I would say that much. We are crypto warriors. Way to go, guys. Exciting to have you guys here focused on the technicals. I want to shout out to all the VIP, to Pathfinder, first and foremost, because he's in the chats. He's saying, what's up? He is showing bull in the house. In terms of that level of resistance, we let you know yesterday. We just confirmed this in terms of, we had another level up and above in terms of that breakout portion with the actual candle wicks. And once we had really established the framework a bit above, it was time to rock and roll, right? And that seemed like the last, I always say just the last indication that we needed to clear, the last level we really needed to clear before everybody jumped in. It was nice to see that level, that specific zone in here on the candle wicks really act as that breakout level. That's really crucial. I appreciate the fact that we did focus so much on this breakout on the lines, yes, and that we waited for that subsequent zone and confirmation boom, to get it to the upside. That's just nice. That's confirming that, yes, we did have this specific level as well. And bam, that was really, I'd say, in concert with the specific confirmation that we got. It was time to rock and roll. In terms of the specific, I would say this, in terms of that specific level of resistance to support, we went over this in detail last night. I really came to the conclusion that, yes, you're in an ascending triangle. However, you'd have to bust back down through a level of established, really carved in well. You guys remember this last night. It's like we've really carved into this level of support, right? So it would have required that we would bust back down through this established level of support from the prior resistance. Just a key a key feature as we would look at that. You guys agree? I mean, I think it was nice to come to that conclusion after working on the charts a little bit with all of you. And I mean, we do that sometimes. We'll go through all the technicals. We'll need to get through some of the chaotic, some of this stuff's stranger than true, guys. Honestly, some of this stuff is stranger than true. I don't know what exactly could go on with the market to give it this type of a dynamic. I'm not sure what exact quote unquote programming or whatever there may be in the market in between a resistance to support into a resistance, right, to support into a resistance to support into a resistance right here, right, flipped into support into a resistance, even on the candle wicks on this top one. And we noted it was on the candle wicks, looking for kind of a that resistance to a support feature here, looking for kind of a transition up and above. Just crucial, huh? This kind of stuff, like, since when have we seen patterns like this? When I talk about programming, it's not like a conspiracy theory or anything else like that, but something is handling the market, okay? Whether or not it be advanced traders who are aware of this pattern, etc. But this is just not standard protocol in terms of what we would expect. These features last for at most 1, 2, 3 lines. I can show you publications from the New York Stock Exchange. And yes, it's crypto, guys, but these are patterns. Patterns are patterns. I can show you pattern publications. Literal pattern publications, talking about how this is supposed to last for 3 lines. That's it, guys. 3 lines, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not supposed to jump around like with that degree of. It's just very atypical. Let's say it's atypical as we would look at that. So I guess we'll take the standard and we'll take the atypical as long as we're able to work within the framework of it and adjust our strategy as needed. So. Nice move. Bottom line, the good thing right now, let's go ahead into this. You guys are ahead of everybody. I'm going to tell you that on the 4 hourly, this. And we're about up into, we'll get into this specific line of prior support, right? And this is highly relevant right now in terms of this stream. We're going to be dealing with this specific notion here, up and through here. And we are just so glad to be above this specific line. Amen. Hey guys, what's up? We got this level of support. That was one good thing that the rocket launch did today, is we are technically back up above this line. So this is going to be the most key feature that we can look at holding, okay, in terms of, yes, operating above that 200. Let's go into that. Operating above that 200, that purple line on the daily. You guys have that. And just to review the price at 44,000. No, 46,000. Look at this purple line. I mean, I'm getting rid of that. That's not 44,000. Like 44. I had to say it 2 times. Like, that's not it. It's here. Let me make these a little larger. 46,874. So we would look at the just the great move that we had today. Let me get into settings and see if I can pull this over, make sure that we can all see this. Might be easier for you guys to see it on your screen as well. There we go. Let's see if that's too large. We just tried this. Hold on. Let me go back into settings just to make sure if you guys are on big screen TV, etc., you guys can see this. Shout out to everybody in the VIP and Basecamp, etc. Great gains. Hope you guys are having a good 2022 so far. We are, and I hope you guys are as well. So that's better. We can see the price real clearly there on the right-hand side, as well as the overall book. Sheeb is in the house. I had a little indication on Sheeb going somewhere today. That's a nice deal to see Sheeb moving a bit. I've got 2 different charts. This is probably the better chart. So 1.67, Elon up a bit, Atom, ETC, and Ape are moving. Ape is an interesting chart right now. You guys know this. Look at Ape. I just shared this. VIP got their trades and orders scheduled in before anybody. Want to make sure you guys know there's a potential, depending upon the lines right now, as you look at this, there's a potential for a massive ascending triangle on Ape right now, okay? I would definitely take a look at that. All the VIP. Shout out to Freddie, who's been carrying since I brought up Ape. He caught it on the golden pocket, and Freddie has been rolling with a 3L on Ape in this short amount of time. He is killing it. Way to go, Freddie. I'm so excited for you, brother. That's a 50% gain on spot on that 3L, brother. That's over 100% gain. Way to go, my man. Way to go, brother. That's a VIP in the house. Freddie continuing to prove that the man can trade. Beautiful, beautiful. And what do we need, Freddie? We need that price action, don't we? When something falls out, if it can pick back up and roll to the upside, beautiful. And in terms of this specific resistance to ascending line of support, bam, we may be in line for an additional, just to look at this, could it be indicated for an additional 31% move to the upside? Huge potential move for Ape, which has already done really well from its get-go. And again, we like the volatility, guys. We definitely like that volatility. There's no problem with no problem here. We'll take the up and the down. We'll trade it. So in terms of Freddie, congratulations, Freddie. We're excited for you, brother. Very, very nice. Glad we could bring that to the group. And shout out to Luke, shout out to Pathfinder, Slim, etc. in the back who helped corral Ape without a doubt. So looking at back to BTC, how's Doge, guys? How is Doge? Did we get to 15? I got to ask, did we get to 15? Oh, we almost got to 15. Dang it. I want to get to 15. You guys know I cut the video on Twitter about, this was so funny. You guys had to listen to this. I cut a video on Twitter about Doge. And I got this person, it said 14.7 cents, right? I got a person who told me, what were we down in this level? All I know is VIP hit the low on Doge. You guys check this out. I literally I cut a tape on Twitter for Dogecoin. And one of the persons, like, I get so much hate you guys don't even know. One of the persons said, he's like, are you kidding me? Have you seen what the economy looks like right now? And you're telling people to invest in Dogecoin. I'm like, excuse me. What am I supposed to say? I'm like, dude, it's in a good technical position. But yeah, I get some of the biggest haters, like people who have. Imagine if people really get geared up to try and hate or interfere, etc. It's like, they're on a mission out there to destroy any kind of positive vibe. Not us, guys. We are having fun trading. We're having a good time. I said that I saw, like, we projected maybe in that video even afterwards. We'll look back at the details, but looking at 15-cent Doge, that's been our price target in the back with VIP. And again, VIP hit that 86% Pathfinder VIP with my custom. I don't know, guys. It's just my custom. I researched a lot, so the actual custom level, just so you guys can pay attention, that 86% retracement, bam. You won't have to ask, guys. What was the low of, you just remember the 86, it retraced 86%, boom. So Pathfinder literally got the bottom. They say buy low, sell high. How about buy the low? It's better, huh? How about sell at the all-time high? That's better. We're going to work on that in 2022. So nice to see this bull flag carrying up on BTC after a little bit of a on Dogecoin. Just called Doge BTC. I've been doing that frequently. I don't mean to do that. I apologize. As we would look at this, it's just a little bit of a habit from Bitcoin spike. We're so focused on BTC. Love BTC. Got to tell you, Dogecoin kind of keeps the memes going, keeps some action in the house. As we look at the upside target of this specific move to the upside, that downward sloping channel, that bull flag, a little bit steep. We talked about that. Move to the upside, stalled out last night, picked up on that 100 moving average on the 30. And yeah, we're looking at 14.89 as a target up. We have an interim target here, kind of an interim, I'd say, level of small. Looks like it's being outperformed right now, okay, in terms of that. We could talk about the difference in the targets to the upside. Looks like Doge is pushing up, period. I'm going to tell you that in spite of that brief pause therein after it does a little bit of a precarious zone here. You guys know where it stopped and rebounded and decided to go to the upside. So anyone in the back VIP who traded since we were talking about this, you guys know, talking about Doge, you guys know my charts, because my charts will have arrows going up all over the place down in this zone. You guys know from however you looked at it, I would just have arrows all over the place going up, right, as we would look at Doge. So congrats to anybody. That looks familiar, yeah? Congrats to anybody who decided to trade Doge in the back. And yeah, we have a good history trading Doge. A lot of fun. Whole lot of fun. So, yeah, it looks somewhat like that. I don't want to redo the chart to what it did look like, but you guys have the original in there, breaking out of a huge descending wedge, as are a lot of coins right now. And we don't just focus on Doge. There's been a lot of talk in the back over coins like ETC. We can cover a lot of the alts right now. But I have to say, some of these alts are doing extremely well. Like ETC picked up just almost on call, didn't it? In the back, you guys know, 114% in a short period of time. We can discuss coins like Ethereum Classic. It's interesting because in the context, say over 100%, in the context of a coin like Doge, some of these original coins like ETC, like BCH, Bitcoin Cash, or Ethereum Classic, will they start to get up and go? Is this their first big, I'd say, bullish patterning in the move and the return to the upside? Okay, after a big, nice trajectory to the upside and a long scheduled, I say a long scheduled, seems like a long scheduled retracement, but that would be so welcome for people who never had a chance to potentially trade these features or potentially got involved and have doubled down into it, right? We talked last night about the difference between investing and trading. We had a lot of discussions last night. DOT is doing well. Good to see DOT do well and conquer this cross trend line, this level of support to resistance. I'd let Angel know before breaking through a key line of support that I had identified in line with that level. I chatted him up. I'm like, I am looking for DOT to beat this line. Sometimes I'll put a red line and it's a stop. That's it. That was a stop here previously. I let him know before we broke through today on a specified resistance that, yes, I'm looking for DOT to push up through that red line. So congrats to Angel. We painted the floor on DOT in terms of pricing targets. Very important to know that everyone's hitting their targets. We're getting those capturable lows in the market. You understand that's the idea, to get those capturable lows. I had this lined out just a bit in terms of the framework here. We have the triangulation. The clearest is clear as day, guys. We could just start with BTC in terms of the overall framework that we're looking at. Okay, we cannot deny this specific pattern. Okay, period. It is there, right? We have the clearest pattern from just like we did here in terms of this specific descending wedge. Right, on the weekly, we just can't deny this specific pattern. We just can't. It's a nice pattern. It's very well laid out. It's constructed nearly perfectly in terms of a symmetrical coil or just a symmetrical coil, yeah, or a symmetrical. We say symmetrical triangle or a coil, right? Riding along on that weekly, you have the 100 moving average on the weekly, right? As we would look at this, the move to the upside, the amplitude, yes, is a carry up feature. That is the target that we would hope to that we would look for. That's the standardized target feature in terms of that amplitude of this specific triangulation. In addition, we had the carry up feature. I'll let the VIP know about that specific carry up feature. We can get a little bit more detailed with that. We have shot through that, which is a good thing. It's nice to see just that momentum carry through to the upside. So on this specific, I'd say weekly chart, as we carry down any patterns to the lower time frames, we just need to be aware of the fact that, yes, this is the clearest pattern on the higher time frame, right? And the challenge is on some of the lower time frames, that pattern wants to disappear a little bit. You guys know. So as we talk about different time frames, it's just it's somewhat of a struggle between the different time frames because that weekly is so well indicated. It's just no one's going to argue with that. You know, it is what it is. So looking at this, the framework of this expanded wedge, which would be the candle wicks on the weekly, right? Or not wedge, triangulation, right? This symmetrical triangulation or coil. And shout out to the VIP. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys have had a good weekend thus far and enjoying the price action. And I hope you're trading. Absolutely. Pathfinder, we want to know what you're trading since you're shouting out in the comments. Pathfinder, VIP, what are you trading? Boom. Let's see, you trading. Pathfinder got the absolute low on Doge. I want you guys to know, as you look at VIP and what we do, what we focus on, I want you guys to know the absolute low in the market. I'm not kidding, guys. The 86 period bar none. Bam. I'm not talking about, well, that general day. I entered up in here. I did something else over here. No, the low. When you see that, the specific low, bam, the exact low is a VIP target, period, on Dogecoin. So it's nice to see it doing extremely well since that point. And the notion that you can't beat the market, you just can't, as you look at it, it's just impossible to beat the market. Now, 37%. If one were to hold, if he were to have held, but I know he cut during here. I know he redeployed cash here. Bam, bam, bam. So I know VIP are proof that you can beat this market. I'm going to tell you guys, I know I see the proof frequently that the market is capable of being beaten. So congratulations to Pathfinder. You are that proof the market can be beaten, as well as all the VIP guys in the back. You're doing great. Freddie as well with your trade on Ape. You're doing great. Obviously, Angel invested at $7.79 on into BTC, into Bitcoin. So yeah, we have a few proof positives here in terms of, yes, ability to beat that market. Now, looking at the framework here, interesting threshold that we got to here in terms of this high, because that was on the weekly. As I just measured that out, you guys know on the weekly, I carried up that weekly. This is where the time frames will mess a little bit. It's just inviting people to just invest and relax, right? Essentially, just put your money in. And as we talk about trading, it's like we want to trade. The bull flags have been easy. You guys know we've had some easy trades here recently, right? The pickups on the 50% retracement in terms of targets, you guys know that also. Relatively uncomplicated. Just making sure you have that heavy reserve capital set aside to not only enter in at those levels, but also more funds behind to cover that position, right? But that 50% retracement in our low in the market in terms of the low target, like that's just proof that the market can be beaten. Maybe not everyone likes that, right? Maybe it's odd, guys. As you look at the market and look at the different phenomenons around the market, people like when people lose. You know, you guys know that it's like, ooh, it's like a video of someone getting hurt or something. Like those are all over YouTube, all over, different, like bad videos like that. Like people enjoy watching people suffer or something like that. I'm like, losing a big trade. Well, that's not us, right? So maybe we get some flack because we're actually a group that likes to put it together the right way and get the low in the market and capture more in terms of this. You have to understand, right, in terms of our target that we had below the 50%, yes, we beat the market to the extent that, anyone trying to get into a trade right now, specifically, they're way behind the game. They are way behind the game. I went for a cigar at the cigar bar today and saw my buddy Rick, and he's, he got in around that low target on BTC, below the 50%, right? So as you look at that, it's night and day different between everybody rushing in right now, and it is, and it's not. It's still exciting. Without a doubt, but as you would look at the framework of things, it completely changes it when you have a lower position. It's just, I mean, if you guys can imagine what Angel feels like. Angel, shout out to you, brother. Much love. Hope you're doing well, and peace. Hope you're doing well this weekend. We appreciate you shouting out this last stream last night. Hopefully we can get more communication ongoing. Looking forward to that in terms of you and the VIP and kind of what you can bring to the space, because Angel's proof positive in terms of, think about what it means to him to be involved at $7.79. He watches all this going on. It's breaking out. It's moving 5%. It's moving 10%. It's gone down 20%. It's back up 30%. I mean, just imagine how comfortable he is with the $7.79 entry. Like, kick the boots up on the desk and chill. Seriously, like, what would you say? Like, it's time to, get the Cohiba and maybe a margarita, and it's time just to relax. I mean, you just, while everybody else is. Now, the good thing about Angel, he likes to trade, right? So he's still very aggressive into trading, and we love that. But I like that. Just kick the boots up on the desk and chill. That's about where it gets to. So in terms of this specific threshold that we look here, that amplitude move to the upside based on that interior framework, that interior triangulation, yeah, it's real close, guys. In fact, I think that was the take. As you guys would look at the stopping point for BTC, so that we're not in the dark on that, if you would look at the amplitude move on the specific weekly chart, okay, if you want to define where the price has gone to thus far in the weekly chart, bam, with the resistance and the support carried up, this amplitude here, that is the maximization of the weekly chart only, just of the weekly chart, okay? As you would look at this, bam, right in line with that, just a little bit overperformed there. So we've had 2 strong weeks in a row. That is beautiful. That is very nice. So we're looking at that threshold having been accomplished in terms of that target to the upside. We have, let me see this in terms of the daily, we have set a candle well up and above. We're established up above this specific 200 moving average. Now, remember what we did last time. We did carve down and test that 200 as a level of support and continue to the upside. The important part here is this move. Boom. We needed a strong day. You guys know that. It would be helpful to have another couple of strong days, I'll tell you. But even as we have strong days like this up in here, when you recall in 2021, getting up and out, it's kind of a real strong move here at this lower level. Various other real strong trajectories around this and volatility around this 200. Just remind yourselves, we had a lot of volatility period around this specific move here, up and down. 10% around the specific 200 moving average. Carved in quite well here between the 100 and 200 again. So just prepare for some volatility. If we want to retest this 200, it would not be unheard of whatsoever. Okay, we've done it in the past in terms of confirming this level of prior resistance, right, as support, and we did come up within the framework on the daily of that level of resistance here. Very important. Just right on par in terms of that 100 moving average being resistance here, that 200 here, and trajecting up and over. Very nicely done with that target on the weekly. So what is occurring right now is the traders are being challenged. I'm going to explain to you how they're being challenged. Okay, the weekly goal has been met, period. That's it, guys. We just met it. You just saw the measurement. We just saw exactly from the resistance to the support, boom, the carry up feature, bam, that coil is complete. That specific symmetrical triangulation is complete. Now, the traders are going to be challenged in the following way. Everyone who wants to trade is going to be invited to go to the next level down. Let's go into the daily. All right, the daily. Now, do we have a symmetrical triangle on the daily? This is the guys, this is the bar none. This is going to be the challenge for the traders. Okay, as you look at this, well, we're gonna stretch beyond what we just saw in the weekly. Well, arguably on this daily chart, we have something that looks like this, right? Something with a generalized level of resistance across the top here. Right, not a perfectly flat framework, but this starts to look like more of an ascending triangle on the daily. It would be a complementary pattern, okay, complementary in that it's still bullish with the other features on the lower time frames. Right, on the lower time frames, yes, we still do have, we fall into that coil formation, okay. In terms of that, let me clean let's clean the price action up just a touch here. Let's clean up the the technicals just a touch and make sure that you guys can focus in on what you need to focus on. But as we look at the difference between that weekly and the daily, and then down into this 4 hourly, the 4 hourly has this expression in terms of an ascending line, a nice symmetrical indication here that is a little bit more familiar to the traders in terms of we'll trade a symmetrical triangulation, no problem, right? This will be the challenge though. The challenge is, okay, well, now we have the full amplitude move of this, right? And we're going to get into this, multiple hits along the line of support, multiple hits along the line of resistance. And as you look at the challenge for the traders, it's like, well, how deep do they want to go in terms of we're from the weekly to the daily, gave a complementary but a contraindication, or I say a different interpretation of the price patterning, right? We had a different interpretation or a different pattern presented. So as we look at they're all complementary because the ascending triangle potentially on the daily would be a complement to the specific triangulation that we did bust up and out of. So this is working as a reversal, right? A reversal coil or symmetrical triangle. The daily is working as potentially an ascending triangle with a flat top resistance, roughly indicated, right? But we have different patterning along here. Still an ascending line of support, but just a different, little bit of a different feature. This is the manner in which the traders are going to be challenged currently, right now. This is a challenge ongoing. As we would look at the lower time frames, we were looking for, and let's just cover this real quickly, and we'll get into the other. I say this, that the other, let's say from the 30-minute on through the hourly, on through the 5-minute, etc., are going to express that symmetrical triangulation as well. To the extent that you can actually view that, what I'm going to say is you really have to get creative with TradingView. If you're aware of the feature that allows you, guys, and you may or may not be, allows you, if you place your cursor up in the very top threshold of the menu around where you select the dates, if you place your cursor around that top level or along the side here, okay, I'm saying the side here in the menu, or anywhere on the menu bar around yourself, and you click Control and you scroll out or scroll down, okay, scroll backwards towards you. As you do that, you will see that you're still technically on and I'm going to have to scroll back in to see the time frame. But as we look at this on the 30-minute time frame, TradingView will allow you to shrink down the 30-minute time frame beyond. And you guys might not know this trick. So just get on the menu portion of the screen so that you can if you need to take a look at something. And I'll tell you, it's difficult to work your lines once you're already, once you've already explored this feature, but once you've engaged it, but get into it, scroll back. You're still technically right now in the 30-minute. You're looking at the 30-minute lines. Okay, it's kind of a trick through TradingView that you may not be aware of. Now, it's difficult to grab your lines. It's not easy to grab your lines sometimes. It may be a little faint on your screen right now as you look, but always be aware of the fact that you can go into, just hover over your menu, click your control button, and scroll towards you. Scroll up or down. See what happens when you are hovering over the menu portion, that top kind of bluish area that's outlined by that bright blue line, and just hold down control and scroll up or down. That is one feature that allows you to see, for instance, the 30-minute time frame. As you guys see, the 30-minute time frame is very clear now. What it will do, though, is it makes it more difficult to work with your technicals. You always want to set your technicals up. You see how small this menu box is? Everything is shrunken down to just nearly nothing, guys. As you would look at this, and your price specific, your price line, your all of your any of your visual indicators are just nearly gone. Okay, but you can see the pattern framework. Let's say on the 30-minute, and you can zoom out, like severely zoom out. Look at you see the actual watermark on the back. It's just very, I mean, let me see if I can actually bring that a little bit more to bear here in terms of the watermark is just going to be the watermark. But look at how you see how small the watermark is. Okay, the whole point of this is if I were to go into, there's the watermark on the 30-minute. You know we're on the 30-minute, but what have I done? I've really zoomed all the way through into something where the 30-minute should typically be something along the lines of this, right? So just keep that in mind if you're ever trying to look at a feature on a time frame and you really want to encapsulate the entirety of it, like the 30-minute time frame, but I want to see the whole chart, right? And you just need to be careful because at some point you will get to, you'll put a load on your graphics processor as well because it's calculating all of this in a smaller time frame interval. So be prepared to master this kind of this tool. But it's not a bad look as we look right now. Just the 30-minute really zoomed in. May have to take it a little bit slowly. I can move mine around, but it's you'll just see as you experiment with this a bit because it does help you to see these I'd say these lower time frames in their entirety without being limited with your field of vision. So you hold down the control and zoom or scroll in and out. That will give you this framework. But it's nice for us to see this right now because we definitely have this specific line of resistance, this line of support, right, clearly indicated on that 30-minute time frame. And it does start to look like potentially we could, and I'll probably have to zoom back in for this. Let's get back in to this framework to the extent that we would want to. And let me just kind of wash out this watermark a little bit more. That will be your guide to let you know that you're back towards something that's reasonable in terms of the 30-minute, that you can actually read your menu again. Okay, that's just really important as you would look at the watermark. Let's go ahead and let's dial this down just a touch. There we go. So looking at the let's see. Let me check the chats real quickly. All right, just want to see if anybody is in. We streamed early tonight, so VIP normally likes to stream at night, but I know Pathfinder is up. That he is ready. So in terms of the extension, let's say an extension of this line on that 30-minute, we get an indication that potentially we would want to extend up to this line. That's not a bad indication on that 30-minute, as we really haven't explored that too much on that line chart, guys. That's an interesting development, I say, on that 30-minute. If we were to completely scroll down and back through that 30-minute, let's just take a look at that again to see if that line does match up on that specific, on the framework of that top line resistance. It does hook in a bit to the support, to the resistance, support, and resistance. So to the extent that that could provide us a higher specific target to the upside, that would be great. To the extent that we're looking at instead, let's go ahead and do that at our traditional target, then this kind of a modified target with this additional technical threshold. We would just say that in our technical application. If we were looking to the upside here, that would be a beautiful move to the upside. If we were just looking in terms of this, and it's a nice look based on this 30 minutes, a little bit more detailed than we have. Just razor's edge, guys, in terms of the technical application. We would be looking at a differentiated move here potentially of, and I like this quite a bit. You guys, I know it's difficult to see. Once you start working with this a bit on your own computer, you'll start to see how it has its advantages and its drawbacks. Okay, I just tell you that from the 57,581 to the 56,103, those would be excellent areas to recoup. You guys know that those would be excellent areas to recoup, and this portion does come a bit into play here in terms of that level of, I'd say, that level of resistance here, essentially a cross trend line on a higher time frame. As we would look through these, we probably see some indications in terms of the 4-hourly begins to express it somewhat well. You guys remember when we were on the different, that was a very interesting time frame in terms of, or a different interesting time in terms of trading. We caught that bull flag in this area, boom. That was the only 1, 2, 3, 4. We didn't get any kind of 5, but that was the only real, I say, bullish feature was in this area. From there, it was just very difficult. So it's nice to see positive price action for the VIP and for the crypto traders. It's nice to see us get up and back into this specific zone. It's been a 60-plus day, 65-plus day kind of, I would just say, opportunity for value there and below. Actually, if we really get back into, since the pour down through to the 38.2, okay, since that pour down, it's been 115 days, okay, since this, remember the strong trajectory to the downside, bam, you guys will remember that. Since the fallout from that zone, it's been about 82 days at a lower level. So very interesting. So the triangulation right now, if we wanted to be as aggressive as possible, the 56,000 to 57,005, and when I was speaking with someone today, like, do you think it'll get 50,000? Being as aggressively minded as I can within the scope of technical analysis, that would be the way. Normally, we have to. I always say that you'll get more aggressive, potentially more aggressive targets on the lower time frames. You guys know that. Yeah, we would include our candle wicks, etc. So looking into that specific structure there, or I say the specific structure of the symmetrical triangulation, what I will say is that looking at either the candle wicks and using those in line with our targets, or, and I got asked that question today by somebody that I know, just a good buddy of mine, and I know VIP, you guys want to know that as well. So it just reminded me to kind of do that feature with the scroll in or scroll out. I think it's going to add to your trade game as well as you continue to trade BTC. So we still should have the arrows down here, Pathfinder. I'm working on that. It may be on another chart, but I haven't forgotten about it. We'll still put them down there without a doubt. I know that you and him and everybody still want, all the VIP want that lower. We want the golden pocket one day on BTC. We'll hit it one day. I'm excited about the fact that we will. Something tells me we will. I don't know when, but we will. It may take a big event, but we may be able to hit that in the future. We're looking forward to it. So looking at the symmetrical triangulation, we have the upside targets. We also have a bit of, let's just go ahead and recoup and just be glad about one fact that we seem to be, as we would look at this, up and over. And let's just look here, up and over this specific line of specific support to, yes, it's been resistance. Now we're getting back and up over. And you guys know I laid this out very clearly in terms of those levels. The specific, and how's Doge doing, guys? Want to hear how Doge doing? You guys trading sheep, Doge, what's going on? VeChain took off. Mentioned that last night in terms of that target to the downside, that 86, classic 86, it's up 100%. VeChain from a real lower level. So that 86% retracement. Just happy to see it's a rebound effect, because I know a lot of holders of VeChain, etc., they've been real down. And it's kind of like you guys know VeChain, it's like a institutionally, I don't know if like Stanford or who all is involved in it, but it's like it's a big deal. Like, there's a lot of application. I'm not sure like why some of those coins just decided not to do well anymore. The memes and the dogs kind of just took over. So as we look at this specific level of support to support, and yes, regaining the territory up and above that level, it's the primary trend level. That's arguably going to be the biggest accomplishment that we can come up with. You guys can see out of all the price action here recently, we tried to hold this level before. Just a note, guys, it's been a disappointment before. We've recaptured this and boom, been willing to move to the upside from that prior support. We were willing to confirm, boom, move to the upside. Bam, we failed that specific. We failed to hold that level. So we're back in an area. Let's just look at this, guys. Support. I don't want to throw rain on the parade at all. Support to support failure. Support attempt here, failure. Attempted to regain and support failure to clear resistance, right? To now we're back up at this level. We failed it. 1, 2. 4 times to hold it. So we're not, I'm going to say it's nice to be in the green. Figuratively and literally, right? It's nice to be in the green, right? In terms of trading, you guys are doing a great job. I want you to know that. In terms of the challenge that's presented, it's very exciting because we have more of a pattern fulfillment in terms of this specific feature. We have this symmetrical triangulation. We didn't necessarily have that. We had an inverse head and shoulders. They had not been playing very well in the market, and we had a bull flag, which would have been really sweet to the upside. Would have been nice. So nothing wrong with an inverse head and shoulders. Nothing wrong with a bull flag potential move to the upside, right? And could have just called this a seller climax with an inverse head and shoulders and a bull flag to the upside, period. That would have been really easy, right? So we had to come back down, give you guys an opportunity to trade again. In terms of that level, that 50% pickup, once again, that mark ended around that 34,000, 35,000. Just say 34.5 to 5,000, right, in terms of the double hit down into that region. So we're back into an area that BTC has not liked too much. You guys know that? It just hasn't liked it too much. So I'm about to play the bull again. I know I will. Don't worry. You guys don't even have to remind me if we talk about too much resistance here. I don't know. I don't want anyone to get hurt in the trades, guys. It's been a difficult time on the way down, especially if you didn't have any backup cash. So I don't like those stories around here. Everybody, you just know not to go too heavily. And if you want to go heavier, that's your prerogative. But a lot of people have families and have real things going on. So we talk to that. We understand how volatile crypto can be, and normally the level heads are the ones who prevail in the long run. Just look at Angel. He's how much would you guys have needed to invest in Bitcoin in the very beginning, right? It's like, well, and he's just a classic story. He's like, just don't overinvest, don't overtrade, don't. So it's exciting to have him around here because he's just proof that you don't have to, add 7 or 8 zeros to your overall margin position to impress yourself. You just don't need to do that to be productive in crypto if you know how to do what you're doing. Now, always with the backup cash, etc. And I recommend staying away from margin to the extent that you can. I just really do. Very few traders on the whole can do really well on margin. Normally, the market kind of catches your scent and decides to remove the cash from your account at some point. It's very good at that. It's done that to some really great traders along the way. Not that they couldn't trade. It's just dealing with those high levels of risk, etc. It can be a real dicey situation once you're really leveraged out on margin. So nothing wrong with a few leverage coins, etc. Having some good goes at it. You guys are some of the best traders around, if not the best traders. I'll say that as VIP overall, which I think a big reason why Angel hangs his hat here in terms of the levels of TA that we have. But it's also that approach that we have, which is really fundamental and foundational to everything we do. It's why we have appreciate having you guys here. It's not just a full throttle, like the Ferrari with no brakes all the time, right? That's not the notion. Now, as I look at this, just to go through and to really, let's go ahead and express what I am looking at right now in terms of this difficulty that we've had, the difficulty zone. I don't want to make it red. How about that? I will not make it red. Let's make it like a blue, something along those lines, so you can understand this kind of this threshold. It operated as a confirmation here, level of support, right? Level of support. You guys see this? It's just an interesting line. You guys will appreciate this if you really look into this level. Let me go ahead and make this specific line a little bit larger there. There we go. This specific level. Let me redo this specific trend line. So you can see that pointed out, we'll have the level of support along the bottom, this bottom line. Level of support to failed, to the failure, and levels turn into a level of resistance. This higher threshold here is kind of an upper bound of a level of support multiple times here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels here. 5 hits there. Another hit here. Boom. Another small hitch here. And then it turns into a level of resistance here. It's a very interesting channel framework that BTC has developed along the way, and it even hit here again. Very interesting. You guys can see that that overlap in this kind of secondary, I'd say an interior channel here. It's just it's not to be dwelled on too much, but given the fact that we have looked at, I think my pup is upset. He probably wants me to play with him instead of stream right now, but I will tell him we're doing Doge. I'll explain that to him later. As we were looking at this interior channel of this primary line of support to support, okay, it's relatively well demarcated. I want to just express the fact that we've had trouble holding this zone, right? It's not to be it's not a give up point at all. I don't want you to think that it is, but I just want to mark out clearly the technicals that this has been a very interesting zone. This specific line here, if I were to take this blue zone here and really just peel this off and stick it down, you would just see a lot of quite a bit of price action interaction there in that zone, right? It's very well indicated. So not to dwell on it, but anytime I see multiple hits here, if I were to see multiple hits here, right, and a lot of interaction here, and then I were to see multiple hits here, right, and let's say this level of interaction here, and then did this carry up? It didn't carry up. Let's just start with that. But just looking at this specific line here, right, it's really well indicated in terms of, and it didn't copy up exactly this feature. This actually went down into the actual line here, leveled at support, but multiple hits along that specific line, and that's the line up and above. That's that next feature up, right? So we're paying attention to that. To the extent that kind of repeats in this zone as well, there is an additional framework up and above through this zone here. So just pay attention to the fact that we're in this critical kind of hot zone. It was nice to get the slam up back into the green zone, period. Okay, so those who have hit their targets below, again, are the winners in the game. Let's talk about the overall price, and let me make sure that I'm zoomed back in well enough. There we go. BTC off a touch, not much, guys. 46,804. Great discussion. $46,000. Like to have that. We've been around this. We've been in this neighborhood a few times over the past 60 days. You guys know that. So BTC kind of feels like it needs to pick up and go. Let's look up BTC.D. If we can look up Bitcoin dominance. You guys want to check that out real quickly? Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. And where is she headed? Let's look at the 4 hourly. Let's look at the daily real quickly. Let's look at the 4 hourly. Is there... Let's see what we have. A little bit of a rising wedge. It looks like maybe we have fallen out of, and it looks like we're attempting to recoup after a nice bull flag. If you guys were looking at this, it was a good time to be generally involved in Bitcoin if you're looking at that specific Bitcoin dominance chart, right? And that is the measurement, just so that we're clear. That is the measurement of market capitalization of Bitcoin vis-a-vis or related to the other coins in the market, right? So the percentage essentially that is held by BTC. You'll see that specific, and boy, is this familiar to us right now. We have that lower function, then this upper function, that most recent upper function that BTC did beat, along with that line of support that we have been discussing. So that specified line of support. But as you look at a rising wedge, even on the BTC.D, even on the Bitcoin dominance, right? We've seen the technicals play out on these quite well, right? And it looks like, as we would look at this specific feature here, that we may have a bit of a descending line of resistance coming into the foray here. Okay, reminds me of the chart we looked at Rune last night. A little bit of an interesting chart there with Rune. A little bit of a deviation here along the bottom. That ascending framework here that we've broken out of that wedge is to be expected, but it looks like it could be in the form of a recovery, or in the process of a recovery right now with some sort of a bullish pattern. I would pay attention to that. That's the percentage that BTC essentially is going to potentially gain, that is going to gain on the market in terms of overall its percentage gain. We'd love this to just traject back to the upside. Could this, I'd say, operate as somewhat of a reversal feature here? Certainly. Could it be like a double or a triple bottom? That'd be nice, to the extent that it's more in line with maybe a pushed wedge. We could look into something along the lines of maybe an extended descending wedge, just a touch maybe on the daily that comes into focus relatively well. That'd be a great thing. So we see this wedge and recoup, the attempt to break up and out of that, as we see that come into as we see that come into reality. We're seeing this, and it's interesting because we're seeing descending wedges on a lot of coins right now, to the extent that BTC can be the one that will now break out, and instead of go back down to the level of support here in terms of this percentage of Bitcoin dominance in the market, in the crypto market. We need to see this. Boom. Let's get up and out. Let's see BTC rock and roll, huh? I want to see Doge dominance. You guys know that there's a Doge dominance chart? You guys aware of that? There's a Doge dominance chart, right? So maxed out at, just want to look at it because we've never looked at it, maxed out at 4%. And not unlike the overall Doge chart, we'd like to see it, boom, make its way back up. Sheeb, is there a Sheeb.D? There is a Sheeb.D. There's a Sheeb market dominance chart. Look at Sheeb, not doing poorly. You guys see that? Sheeb market dominance is right on its 200 on the daily 200 moving average. Very interesting. I like that. That's important for me. I like to see that. Very, very nicely done. All right, so Sheeb. Look at Sheeb all the way up to 2%. What was Doge? Capped out at 4%. Sheeb went up to 2%. Doge was 4% of the market, guys. So in terms of the overall market market dynamic, I don't know. Do you guys think that 4% is in the mix for Sheeb? That'd be interesting. Let's look at the overall percentage gain. That would be from the current about a 485% move to the upside to reach the equivalent high there of Doge. And that's important, guys. You would look at, well, it's potential that, okay, people talk about it going to $1, Sheeb at $1, Sheeb at a penny, whatever it may be. It could gain 4% of the market. It hasn't done that yet. Doge did that. That's reasonable to suspect that Sheeb could pull off a move like that, potentially 483% to the upside. That could happen. So look at your .Ds, your Sheeb.D. That's your market cap Sheeb dominance, for instance. If you wanted to look up Luna.D, right? You're going to have all of these. And they're from CryptoCap, just so that you know. Look at the market cap dominance of Luna, right? Very interesting. Now, you start looking at these like, okay, Doge got 4% in terms of market cap dominance. Like, why can't Luna? I mean, come on. Why can't Luna get 4%? I mean, Luna is Luna. Doge is Doge, right? So as you look at this, people love Luna. It's like, well, it would be another 150% on top. And that's a competitive 150%. Let me go ahead and say that as well. It's a competitive 150% because you're measuring the percentage of market cap. Okay, so it's not a flat. It's competitive though in a sense, in regard that we understand quite well. Because come on, Doge did it. Well, Luna can't do it. It got 4% of the market. Go ahead and do it. So it's funny in terms of the structuring that it puts forth. But looks like Luna's just in a nice march up, guys. That's a nice chart. You guys like that chart? To the extent that it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we don't like it. I'll say it's the only thing. To the extent it would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and those do play. Okay, to the extent that it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're not real crazy about it. I'll just tell you that. Particularly if you're long on Luna. But to the extent that it's just an upward channel, hey, and it's indicative of continuation in terms of the ongoing, expression of what we would continue to see, just an uptrend. It's a solid uptrend, no swing failures, etc. Real clean chart, very, very clean chart. And those Elliott waves, don't let them get to you too much, guys. You know that. Learn them, focus on them. They'll help you, like maybe when we call it the top of Ethereum, etc. But just don't get too hung up on the Elliott waves. So they're good, but they're not. It's like just what do we say? They're not all favored by the real traders. Some of them just like, you could keep counting Elliott waves till you've lost all your trades, something, or until you're just bored of counting Elliott waves, at least, right? So, but they do have some really serious implications as you would look at, but not necessarily with Luna. Let's say that. Fair enough. Not necessarily with Luna. Luna has its own set of technicals. You guys know that. Very important, its own set of technical expression that it doesn't like to behave all of the time, but we don't like to see it behave all the time. We like to get it up and out and rock and rolling. Let's dig into the lower time frames because we have these expressions. We have the higher thresholds. We've met the target, guys. We've met the target on the weekly. Okay, we just have. You guys know that triangulation, the target on the weekly, we've met that. We just went through that in terms of that specific symmetrical triangulation, the amplitude that's been reached. Okay. Congratulations. Now the challenge is for the traders to trade the lower time frames, right? And to the extent that we would want to include this zone here, I zoomed out to the 30 to give some higher price targets for a buddy Rick and for you guys. It's just I wound up doing it after I met him today, got into a random conversation. He's like, do you think it could get up to such and such? I did the extensions on it, just so you know. And you guys know really easily I've already done those for you in terms of the overall extensions. But to get things into the framework up and above to those higher levels, right? And essentially like that in line with this on that 30-minute time frame, this specific amplitude here would get us right up to that golden pocket. So that is definitely a feature that we've already covered clearly here before. I'm going to get a quick sip of water. 1 second, guys. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. In terms of the so in terms of that 61.8 to the 65th percentile, we have covered that. That would be the 57.6 to the 58,863, right? And that's just based upon the same triangulation. They're the lower. These are the lower time frames, and yes, it's the 4 hour, but it seems like a lower time frame, and it is much lower time frame than that weekly, right? So that's the go get 'em. I'd say price target. That's golden pocket, and measured by the extensions on the Fibonacci's. Measuring what it is the amplitude. I just wanted to let you know, guys. It's the preceding amplitude of this entire move. The previous retracement, we retraced down just below $30,000. That entire move last year to $69,000. What that would be, the completion of this from the resistance to the support would be the 61.8. Okay, that's 61.8% of the entirety of this move. That's a very structurally designated and sound. They call it the golden ratio. That's 65th percentile, 61.8 to the 65th percentile, the golden pocket. Okay, on the extensions. That would mean 61.8 to 65% of this move, of the entirety of this move, would be repeated by getting to this specific level, the 57.6 to the 58.8. What is that? 863. So in terms of the price action now, we have to hold this level. That's our job number one. If you guys are getting into new trades right now, what I would say is buy support, sell the resistance, trade your patterns. There's probably a lot in terms of patterning that is looking like it could really move right now. You guys know that. Looks like BTC on the lower time frames, on the 5-minute, etc., is getting into a bit of, we've seen it do this a few times. Let me say that. We've seen it do this a few times, and we like when it does this for it to formulate some sort of a bullish expression along the top. If you guys booked a 5L, something along those lines with BTC, congratulations. And if you weren't overexposed, you wish you could have made more money, hey guys, guess what? There's another trade coming up, right? Next, maybe when you're on all firing on all cylinders, or all the technicals are firing on all cylinders. If you didn't hit your targets here, I encourage you as well. Guess what? You'll have more targets. I promise you, you will have more targets. Really, just the mainstay of the market is it will continue to produce things like support, resistance, and major targets and major patterns for you to trade, right? So that's the good thing about BTC. It's not going anywhere. The market's not going anywhere that we know of. It's not. We're not on a full line like restriction upcoming. There's no imminent interference along the way here that we're looking, that we're going to be subject to or anything like that. So it's a nice dynamic to know that the trades are incoming. Right, as we were talking about, like incoming. We're going to look at this specific line of potential resistance here. It's just, what if, like we thought, oh no, like it would be like China and the government's going to shut down. We don't want the government to shut down our trading. Like, that would not be good. Huh? We don't want that, right? Looking at this line a little bit, this preceding line of resistance, trying to line up where we are, what we may have just conquered, right, to get up and over this specific line of resistance here. That's a big deal. And it looks like we're just barely up and out of that. I'd really want to line this out on the 4-hourly with that magnet tool. Let's go to the magnet and draw this out and see exactly where this is, because this looks like a pretty interesting, I'd say an interesting mark here. Let's look at this and this. Let's go ahead and draw this over to the right, and let's see where we're at in terms of, we are up and over. That's a good thing. Let's look and go into the lower time frame on that. I want to see the level of interaction. And we're going to head back to that. As you would look at developing some bullish patterning, that may be a very good indication here in terms of this to be confirmed and move potentially to the upside. We'll also watch for some additional pattern. That lower level, as you guys knew, I was looking for some sort of a triangulation. I had expressed that to you guys. I wanted to see some form of a triangulation in terms of this specific move. Let's just look at this. This specific move here, it was maybe an incompletely formed bull pennant, etc. As we look on the 5-minute, it's a little bit difficult to encapsulate the entirety of it. But I would say, that we were in the process of forming here. And we mentioned 2 or 3 times, I want to see some patterning in line with the bull pennant. It didn't give us time. It confirmed off the bottom and literally gave us that expression, just rifled to the upside. So glad we caught it in terms of the, we would say the specific move up and above in the presence of the price action, literally in the process of conquering, is if I move this green area just a touch and this blue area, kind of the next hurdles to get up and over. Catching the price right in this zone was just crucial, guys, in terms of right as it's going up and over. And I have to kind of hide away all of the specific indicators, patterns, etc. But as we look at this, catching the price action up and above that purple line, the 200 on the moving average, just crucial, right? Bam. That's when I brought you guys the video. Make sure you have your notifications on, because I did let you know immediately what was the title of the video was Bitcoin uptrend now indicated, just so that you know, Bitcoin uptrend now indicated. And I don't care if people watch that a year from now. It's okay, because it is indicated with being up and above this specific 200 moving average, right? So that was the key crucial feature at that time. Bam, and then boom, we got that nice move. The trajectory, the rocket fuel came in just in time. So what I'm going to tell you guys is I will be in the back with the VIP. It's exciting to know that we are up and through this level. We have confirmed off. We are up and out of here. We're excited about the specific move on BTC. If you guys are trading, congratulations. If you're VIP, we're so excited. If you're not yet, guys, you need to join, because we honestly love hanging out in the back, throwing around charts, coming up with next level, I say trades, etc. What coins moving next, etc. If you guys aren't VIP, you are missing out. Shout out to the Dogecoin traders in the back, Slim and Pathfinder. Shout out to Luke. Shout out to Angel, #1 VIP, 58.5 thousand total contributions. The $1,000 super chat king. Maybe someone will challenge him one day, or maybe he will challenge himself in terms of that 58,000. He may have plans. I don't know. Maybe he'll get up to 100,000. What do you guys think? I'd like to see him make tons of money based upon the market intel in this group, and that just to be a complete drop in the bucket. Not even a big deal. It's like a drop in the bucket in terms of, like, that's not even a morning worth of trades for Angel. I'd like to see that happen based on the market intel that we're able to provide, including that 86, classic 86, that retracement. That's so key in terms of, like, Rune, it hit the 86. Doge just hit that 86% retracement. In terms of the dot targets we just did were great. In terms of the other features, I got to give credit to the VIP. Mina was a great moving coin. Very nice to see that. Freddie is trading the heck out of Ape right now. We caught the top of Ape. That was really nice. In terms of just what we've been doing here recently, we painted the floor with BTC. I'm going to tell you guys that. And why is that? Because we got the low on the 4-hourly. You guys never need to ask exactly what was our target. No, you don't need to know at all. Just go to the 4-hourly chart, that lowest pivot in the market. We painted the floor. This group did. I did ahead of time in terms of that specific target. Bam. The low in the market on the 4-hourly. Bam. That would be us, guys. Boom. Right there. We like to paint the floor with our targets. Literally be the low entry in the market. That is the goal here with VIP. This is London with Bitcoin Spike, guys. I'll be in the back and wanted to stream a little bit early and say congratulations to all the VIP who are trading. Congratulations, Freddie, for trading. To Pathfinder, Slim, to AJ Crypto. Congratulations to Vlad. Congratulations to Brad. Congratulations to everybody, to Richard, to the whole crew. I hope you guys are doing awesome. Craig, where you at, my man? Where you at? Need to hear from you. Hope you're doing well. We want to see some charts in the back. Big Steve was here last night. It was nice to see him as well. And always Angel. You guys are a great group. We're looking forward towards more of you joining in 2022, just because we have a lot of fun. So I have fun streaming, but maybe we'll wait for things to get back on a tear. We'll tear it back up. Looking for Doge at 15 cents. I got to update that Twitter video, because we always get some hate on Dogecoin towards the bottom. How do we get hate when we get the low in the market? I don't understand that. So anyway, guys, it's London with Bitcoin Spike. You guys take care.